On January 9th, 1386, a crowd gathered in a public square in France to watch a convicted murderer hang. The killer had been formally tried, convicted, and dressed in a fresh suit of clothes for the execution. But as the prisoner was led to the gallows, the crowd realized the condemned murderer was actually a pig. This took place in the Norman town of Falaise. While the premise sounds like a surreal myth or a comedy sketch, the history is incredibly well documented. This was a factual historical event, and its existence forces us to rethink our assumptions about medieval justice. Historians verify bizarre events from the Middle Ages by looking for a paper trail. If a story is real, someone usually had to pay for it. We have the official financial receipt from the Viscount of Falaise, documenting a payment of 10 sous and 10 deniers for hanging an infanticidal sow. It even includes a line item for new gloves, so the executioner could leave with clean hands. The event was so significant that the town memorialized it in a massive fresco on the wall of the Church of the Holy Trinity, where it remained for over 400 years. Why would highly educated legal minds spend state funds to formally prosecute a farm animal? The case began when a wandering sow attacked and killed a 3-month-old infant left alone in its crib. Rather than slaughtering the animal on the spot, local authorities placed the pig under formal arrest. The sow was taken to the local prison and detained alongside human inmates. Records show the jailer charged 2 deniers a day for the pig's board, the exact same rate used for the human prisoners. During the trial in secular court, the state appointed a human defense lawyer for the pig, paid for by the taxpayers. This procedural rigor was standard for the era. In a later 1457 case, a sow was sentenced to death for murder, but her piglets were acquitted because the court found no direct evidence of their involvement. By granting these procedural rights, the court validated the event as a formal legal dispute. The Falaise tribunal delivered a guilty verdict, sentencing the sow to death. The punishment followed the principle of lex talionis, the law of retaliation, requiring the animal to suffer the same injuries it had caused. The executioner mangled the pig's head and forelegs to match the wounds suffered by the infant. Next, the court officials forcibly dressed the massive pig in a human man's waistcoat, breeches, and white leather gloves. Local farmers brought their own pigs to watch the hanging alongside the gathered townsfolk. The specific theatrics and high cost of this execution turned a farm animal into a moral symbol for the entire community. Modern analysis suggests these trials were far more than the work of ignorant villagers. They were driven by a rigid internal logic. On one level, the trial acted as a warning to human owners to better monitor their livestock or face the same legal scrutiny. Some theorists even argue that forcing other animals to witness the hanging was a genuine attempt to deter the beasts themselves. The use of human clothing solved a legal problem. Medieval law required a legal fiction to bridge 2 categories. Because capital punishment only applied to humans, the court symbolically transformed the beast by dressing it as a person, bringing it under their jurisdiction. Every surreal detail was a strict, rational adherence to the legal codes of the 14th century. This legalism was grounded in the great chain of being, a world where God ordered the universe with humans holding absolute dominance over animals. A farm animal killing a human was viewed as a violent insurrection against that hierarchy, an act medieval theologians believed invited demonic chaos into the community. The trial provided a formal mechanism to restore the social order, allowing the town to reassert human dominance over the unpredictable forces of nature. The trial of the Falaise pig was an act of psychological survival. When faced with a senseless tragedy, these people used the law to impose structure on a chaotic world.